Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos a the Rogue Actors Podcast. Yo soy Angelo Mercado, and you are...
Quabna and Pofo.
All right, here we go.
I know I've heard that before, but that's that's still a lot of fun. It reminds me of when I was a kid, and so when I was a kid, and we had, old school televisions, the CRTs, and if you had the TV and all you had was the antenna connected to it, you got the original channels, right? So you had 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Those were your base channels, right?
Right.
And then if you started trying to squeak past 13 and you got to the static and all these other stations, if you got into the 40s,
41.
It was 41, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
41 was
what was it?
Univision, Univision.
Yeah.
And 47 was Telemundo.
Yeah, see? So I would get to those, and that sounds exactly like that's exactly what I remember from my childhood. It's I don't know what they're saying, but that shit sounds fucking dope.
Because there's just so much passion.
There's so much passion in what they're saying.
It's just like when you watch the novelas, they're saying the dumbest shit, but they're just hilarious.
Yeah, it's OD. I think that's why there's it's not a meme, but there's this thing of just people who don't understand the language at all will just sit and watch the fucking things because it's just what is going on? But there's just whatever is happening, they are really about that shit.
Oh yeah, especially if you have Sábado Gigante. Yo soy Don Francisco. Bienvenidos a Sábado Gigante. You didn't know what was going on.
I had no idea what the fuck
you were tuned in.
But I'm here like this. I'm like,
you're tuned in.
I'm what is this motherfucker saying? I don't care, but I am on board. I was watching a video earlier. Who was it? It was a video, Instagram, and it was Jason Sudeikis.
Okay. And
I think he was just talking, and it was that same thing about the Larkin Malloy and the
Rip Larkin.
shout out R.I.P. Yeah.
R.I.P.
But it
Larkin.
was that thing about the turning the volume down and then watching the performance, and if you can tell if you are drawn to the performance, if you can tell what's going on, you're doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's what Jason was saying in this short little clip, and I think that's what I remember a lot from my childhood, right? Just watching something, and because I'd get in trouble if I was going to be watching something late at night, had to turn the volume down, and so there were times where the volume would be so low, but I could still make out what was happening, right?
Yeah.
Because I think we just had really good shows and really good actors and really good productions back in the day.
Just the whole body
just
language.
the whole body, yeah. So you could easily tell what was happening.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that was, man, I miss those days. Going back to the channels 41, 47, and just being I don't know what's happening, but I'm on board.
Damn, thinking about Larkin now. You brought him up. Larkin was great.
Yeah.
So for some of you who don't know, Larkin Malloy wasn't an actor, soap operas. He famously played a character named Skylar on, was it One Life to Live?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah. And then we started taking classes with Larkin at CNC Studios with Jagger K, helming the whole studios. And then Larkin would come in every couple of weeks and teach a soap opera class. And then at some point, he found out that I do IT work. And I used to do IT work for him at his house. And he would give you free one-on-one coaching on auditions or just monologues or whatever. So there was a trade-off there. It was great.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was such a good dude.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that part, that you do an IT for him. And then there was that skill exchange, which is real dope. I think I'm all about that shit. Just a skill exchange. You do this, I do that. All right, let's just swappity swap, barter, call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to do IT stuff for Jagger at CNC also.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. But yeah, I forget what it was called. What do you call it? The glass house or something like that, or
Jagger?
No, Larkin.
Larkin? I don't remember.
When he was talking, there was a name that he had for it. I think it was called the Glass House or something like that, where if there was a glass wall that was like separating you and your performance from people on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
If they couldn't hear you, could they make out what was happening?
Yeah.
And I always think about that because, yeah, it's just such it makes perfect. Not even if it makes perfect sense, but it just resonates from everything that I've experienced.
Yeah. Gary Donatelli used to also teach a soap opera class at CNC Studios, which was really good. Shout out Larkin, R.A.P. Shout out to Gary Donatelli. I still see him on social media, but I haven't spoken to him in person in a while.
Okay.
But he's still supportive. Like he'll engage on some of my posts. I'll engage on his posts. Good dude.
Nice.
He was a really great teacher. He was a director for like a lot of soap operas.
For soap operas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he did a few episodes of One Life to Live. He did General Hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This week, I think we had wanted to go over what? I think it was games and anime.
Games and anime.
Games and anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the animes that I kept bringing up repeatedly is Oshinoko.
Facts.
Because I love that show to death.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel out of all the anime that I've watched, the handful of them that I've watched that have spoken about or attempted to convey the state of the entertainment industry,
right,
in Japan, but then also kind of around the world, because they do also talk about the entertainment industry in other countries. That show just does a really good job about painting a picture of what I'm not going to say underbelly, but what the inner workings of different industries. So in particular, you have actors on the show, you have people who are idols on the show, models, all cosplayers, just like all sorts of
streamers.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
show does a really good job of exploring the particular industries, the sub industries within entertainment. So I think it's just a really good watch for anyone who likes anime, but then also anyone who is in the entertainment industry.
So it's also really interesting watching some of these characters cross over from one industry into the next. Like, the podcaster. I don't want to.
I know we're trying to.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to.
Yeah. The podcaster starting one thing and then doing another.
Yeah.
One actor doing one thing and then getting into another, and just like the whole circle of that, and then just the way that the male lead approaches acting and his technique, his science behind it, and like remember last season when he was trying to delve deeper into like finding the emotions for acting and the play that they were doing. I thought it was just so solid, just really well done. Yeah. One of the great things about this anime is that it starts off as one thing, and then it kind of shocks you, and then it goes into another thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I guess this is going to be this type of story. Yeah. And they're like, nope, we're going to jump ahead, and then it's going to be this kind of story.
Yeah. I know we're speaking very cryptically about the show,
because we want you to watch it. We don't want to spoil it.
We want you to watch the show. It's a really good anime, and I'm a big non-spoilers kind of person, so that's why we're speaking about it like it's Voldemort or something. You can't. But it's just a really good show. Oshinoko, really, really good show.
It's also the music in the show is great.
Oh yeah.
See the intro from season 1 by Yoasobi is dope as hell.
Yeah.
And then the outro by Queen Bee, so good.
Yeah, they have a really good sound production team, and just the music that they choose and compose, just really, really appropriate, really fitting, and so it's just an overall really well done show.
And I gotta admit though, this isn't really a spoiler, but in season 2 they're working on a play.
Yeah.
If they were to make just that play into like a real thing, I would watch the hell out of that.
Yeah, fam. Yeah, I would. I'd watch that. I would see that play multiple times.
I would too.
Yeah.
Especially if they went into the production value that they were trying to pull off in the anime. I know in Japan, like they go all out.
Yeah.
Like for productions in theater, on stage. So if they were to bring something like that here, I think it would rock people's world.
Yeah. What did they bill it as? Was it 2D, 3D? There was a term. There was a special term for it
There was,
that they called it. I can't
yeah,
remember what.
it wasn't interactive theater because we have a bit of that here, um, but it was very like very immersive.
Yeah, there was a special term that they used that I
Yeah,
thought was pretty cool. That accurately described the experience.
and that whole thing was super interesting too because having the writer of the manga become the playwright for the play, and just all the challenges that the producers, the actors, and everybody has to go through because of the personality of the playwright.
Right.
Yeah, it's very interesting, very nuanced the way they did it.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear that whoever the writers are on the show and just the showrunners and the producers, just the whole team, they just really have an in-depth knowledge of the inner workings of the industry and are just being really honest is what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
Like, it just seems like a really honest take uh, on the industry. So,
yeah, because they don't pull any punches.
no, it doesn't seem like it at all.
Mm.
Yeah.
Especially that last season. That last season was legit.
Yeah.
Just like some of the changes and personality that these characters had to go through,
Mm.
and then just watching their journey go from here to there, and then here, and then back here. You're just like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, long story short, watch the show.
Watch Oshinoko, now streaming on. Well, it is streaming on a couple of places. You
Yeah.
can watch it on Hulu. You can watch it on High Dive. You can watch it on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And I believe it's also on Netflix. And Amazon Prime has the live action version of Oshinoko.
Did you watch that?
I haven't. I want to, but then I don't want to.
Live action.
Yeah. Like, I want to watch it because it's such a good show.
Yeah.
But typically live action remakes tend to kind of ruin everything. So I'm very skeptical, and I haven't watched any reviews on the live action.
Yeah.
Only because I don't want them to ruin it for me.
Wow. Okay. I mean, there are the people who swear by the live action One Piece, so there's that. But I remember watching the live action Bleach. I was not impressed.
I was not impressed.
I was not impressed.
I remember watching the live action Death Note.
I never saw Death Note. That's one of the ones that I've yet to watch.
Oh, that's such a good anime.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've
And
heard.
the live action was
Not that.
Nah,
Yeah,
not that.
not that. I'm trying to think of other live action anime adaptations that I've seen.
Well, there was one called My Happy Marriage. Really good anime.
Yeah.
And then they ended up doing a live action right after it. And acting was really good, but I just couldn't get into it.
Okay.
And then also the pacing of it kind of messed it up for me because they try to pull an entire season of anime or manga adaptation into a 2-hour film. So much of it was skipped, and then a lot of it was ruined because I hadn't gotten that far in the anime or the manga yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like once spoilers started happening, I just kind of stopped and like, all right, I can't watch anymore.
Yeah. Okay. There was an Avatar movie, right, for The Last Airbender? Was there a live action?
There was.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch it.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was trash.
Yeah, it was bad.
Exactly.
It was done by M. Night Shyamalan, and it was awful. But the new series on Netflix, The Last Airbender, actually quite good.
Oh, it came out?
Yeah.
Because I thought that I saw... No, wait. Did I see the trailer? Someone mentioned it to me. It might have been you.
Season 2 is about to drop within the next couple of weeks.
That's ridiculous.
That was well done. And I'm about to piss people off, but I've never been a fan of One Piece.
Yeah.
And then I tried giving it a chance, and then just the idea of having to go through like 5,000 episodes, I was like, I don't got the energy for this. But I started watching the Netflix series, and it's really well done.
Really?
It's good. The live action One Piece on Netflix is good. And Avatar: The Last Airbender is also really good.
Okay.
And the kid that they picked to play Aang does a really good job.
Damn. I don't need more things to watch.
but you do. You got to keep up. You got to keep hope alive, and especially since we're talking about anime and video games, I just started seeing some trailers to the Avatar video game that they're about to drop, and that game looked.
Oh, the fighting game.
The fighting
Yeah,
game.
you showed
That
me
game looks dope.
Yeah, that looks like crack.
Yeah, it kind of has a similar feel to Dragon Ball Fighters or like Guilty Gear.
Did we look
like
into
that
see
type
if
of
it was,
engine?
yeah? Did we look into see if it was done by ArcSys? I don't remember.
I did not look at who did it,
Yeah,
but just from the trailers alone, it looks like it's going to be really
like
fun.
ArcSys.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really fun game. So I'm definitely going to cop that when it comes out.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna watch people stream it. I don't know that I'm gonna play it.
I'm all in. I'm all in. Same with the Marvel Tokon battle.
Yeah,
I'm all in.
Okay.
Yeah, because that game looks dope, and I love anything Marvel. So when Tokon comes out, I'm all in.
Okay.
I'm not gonna watch any reviews. I'm not gonna listen to nobody. I'm just gonna hit up.
Shut up and take my money.
Yep, just walk into GameStop and be like the Futurama meme.
Yep. Shut up and take my money. Okay.
And I'm not actually going to GameStop. I'll probably just download the game. But still,
I like my physical copies still.
I prefer physical copies.
I still pick up physical copies when I can.
I prefer physical copies. Although PlayStation has this thing where if you have a disc in the system and if the game is not installed, it'll keep trying to install the damn game. So I had a copy of Arkham City inside my PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I already finished that game. I just kept the disc inside the console. And every time I load up the PlayStation to play WWE 2K, it starts trying to install Arkham. I'm like, I don't want you to install Arkham. Can you stop doing that? I don't got enough hard drive space for you.
No, but you want to keep it forever. You want to keep me forever.
But I have you. That's why I bought the disc.
I know. It's wild. I don't have a PlayStation 5, so that's I don't know that struggle.
It's not a struggle. It's just a nuisance.
Nah, that's a struggle. That's a struggle. It's trying to eat up all your storage.
Yeah, I mean, everybody out there is probably, won't you just take the disc out? Because I'm lazy.
So you gotta call that shit out. You gotta admit it.
Yeah.
I haven't played games in like a while. It's always like stints where I don't play anything. And there's a lot of shit I want to play. Like I still haven't played Metro Prime 4.
Okay.
Prime 4.
Even though 5 is dropping?
No. Wait. Is it 4 or 5?
It's 4.
It's 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. On the Switch 2?
No, that was 4 was on the Switch 1.
What?
Duh.
No.
Hi.
Really?
See?
Am I that behind?
Probably.
So it's 5?
Maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to look it up and confirm that later.
Okay, I think it's 4.
I did play the Switch 1 version of it. Great game.
Yeah.
Ran through that. And then what am I playing now? Not really playing much of anything because it's just hard to find the time to commit to anything. I started playing Stellar Blade, ended up dropping it because great game. I just couldn't really find the time to really play it.
Yeah.
Same with Elden Ring. Started playing that. It's very involved, so I just couldn't find the time to commit. Right now, the only thing I can play are fighting games because you can
pick them up, put them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, get some matches in.
Mm-hmm. Especially like WWE, like the 2K series. I'll play through like the story mode. It'll take me like 6 months, 8 months just to get through, the My Rise career mode.
Oh, man.
Because, I'll pick it up, have a match, have 2 matches, and then that's it. I'm off doing something else.
Yeah. Yeah, people keep trying to get me on Elden Ring. People are trying to get me on that for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, my DA boys are like, you got to play Elden Ring, got to play Elden Ring. And I'm like, do I really need to play Elden Ring? And
the answer is yes.
The answer is okay.
You don't got to commit to it, but you do got to play it.
No. See, I don't play those games. If I play those games, I'm going to play the game. I don't play that game without playing the game.
The problem is that Elden Ring is just going to eat you up because it's a great game.
Yeah.
Graphics, it's really, really well done.
Okay.
And because of that, it's going to take up your time. Like, you're going to want to, like, delve deep into it. Then, you're going to start playing around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Next thing you know, 6 months later, like, you just got off the couch to go use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those type of games.
See, I'm just going to have to get somebody to bankroll my game playing time. You know what I'm saying?
We're looking at you, Twitch.
But no, it's everything that I've heard of Elden Ring just makes it out to just be easily one of the greatest games of all time. And I know that I don't have a Switch 2 yet, but but I know that the Tarnished edition I think is coming out eventually soon.
Okay.
Apparently they're taking pre-orders for it on Amazon, right? And so yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Tarnished edition. What does that mean?
I think it's just all of like the DLC
Okay.
up until like present day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I only played the game when it first came out. Like,
Right.
I didn't stick to it. And not because I didn't want to. It's hard to just commit to those type of games right now for me.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what it is. It's the base game plus all the DLC up until now.
Okay.
And apparently the Switch 2 version has come a long way because in the beginning there were reports that it was struggling to run on it. But I feel like that's just always the case. It's this thing of in the beginning, as the developers are figuring out the hardware, they've just got to get used to the shit. And then over time, they're like, okay, yeah, you iterate, and then you get around to, okay, now this game runs well.
Right.
And
Just like Cyberpunk. It took them how long to get that game to run stable?
bro, I still have not played that game, but I heard that that game was just eating people's lunch for free.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When they released it for the Steam Deck, the Steam Deck started throwing up on me. They're like, "How dare you?"
Yeah,
Yeah, I just couldn't handle it.
yeah,
The demand for that game was just way too intense.
and
they just now, within the last year, got it to like a stable place where it can run smoothly.
That's wild. Nah, you're beasting when your game, bro.
Like the only way you could play that game is if you had like a beast of a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, and this is the story that I'm gonna stick to, is that we're gonna get to a point where games have gotten so realistic that we're gonna circle back around and realize that this life is a game, and we just forgot we're playing, and we're like, "Fuck!" You know, it's just like, because how would you know? How would you know? Like, if the game was just so real that when you sign on the dotted line, they're like, listen, you're going to put this headset on.
Okay.
And you are going to forget that you are playing this game.
Like that episode of Rick and Morty?
Like I told you, the episode of Rick and Morty. You are going to forget that you are playing Roy. Spoilers for anyone. I don't even watch Rick and Morty like that. I just know that one episode. Because to me, it's the fucking truth. It resonates. It's just like, how would you fucking know? This shit could just be that.
Yeah.
People joke about it. There's a simulation, all this kind of shit. Listen, you wouldn't fucking know.
The Matrix built an entire franchise on that.
You wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think perhaps we're just, the speed at which technology is moving, we're just going to cycle back around and be like, this shit was a game all along. And then we're going to be faced with some decisions to make. I'd be like, what do you want to do?
How do I change my fate from that video game?
What do you want to do? You want to exit the game? You want to double down and like go to another game?
But I was just this close to breaking through and making it big. I need to go back in.
Bro, wouldn't that be some shit?
That would be.
Anyway.
I mean, I think we're pretty close to something like that, though. Not in the sense of life being a game, but, the Rick and Morty, they use the Neuralink. Like how they do in Sword Art Online.
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah.
I was literally the nerve gear.
Yeah.
I was just about to mention Sword Art Online because that's exactly what I was thinking. Full dive, you wouldn't know. I mean, they know because everything is kind of like so fantastical, right? In a sense, and it's like it doesn't. I mean, technically, they could wipe your mind or whatever as you go in. And so then you wake up in a fantasy world and you're like, okay, I'm just in a fantasy world. And you wouldn't know. But clearly there's some kind of, difference between, when you go in and, maybe they load you up into a lobby and all this kind of shit. So, you don't get completely separated from reality. Mm-hmm. But like, how would you know if, you put on the nerve gear and then
you're all the way in there.
And then you're all the way in there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
I
know.
think we're pretty close.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure.
Yeah, because, the VR headsets have come a long way since when they first started building them out. Like, a lot of them, when you play the games, or even if you're watching a VR movie, you really feel like you're in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Even, so there's this K-pop group that I like. They're called Blackpink. And one of the members, Jisoo, is in a Korean drama. And in that one, she's using a version of the Nerve gear.
Okay.
But it's for like a dating sim. Like when she puts the Nerve gear on, she gets transported into this other world, and then she meets the perfect guy. And then, as the show goes on, she meets other guys who are like perfect for her. And then I feel like once you start introducing that aspect of it,
Right.
it's going to be really difficult for society as a whole. Because then dating real people, it's going to become very difficult because you're going to be used to the perfect version from the dating sim that you just played.
Bro, society is already cooked, and we don't even have that when it comes to dating.
You got people that are falling in love with Siri. So imagine if you introduced the Nerve gear aspect to it.
Bro, we are already dunskies when it comes to dating and just like apps. Imagine that companies like Tinder or OkCupid or whatever start teaming up with all these other companies like Meta, or even let's just say that, Elon and his crazy ass, start setting up some stuff up and mixing things together with his Neuralink shit. And then all of a sudden now you're like, okay, I'm going to go on a date. And then you're just like, boop. Yeah. And then you're in this, this simulation. Come on, man. We don't even have that widespread, and we're already cooked. I think I'm just glad that I'm old enough to remember the days when things were a bit more analog. So I have that frame of reference.
That's why I feel like our generation is the best generation. Because we're still old enough to remember what it was like without tech, but still young enough to know how to use tech.
Right. Oh, Lord. But, I mean, would I want to test out the full dive stuff when it starts to come out?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. I'm all in day one.
Do I also know?
But I know that it's going to be highly addictive, so... do I really want to go down that route?
Do I also know that Ricky Morty shit could absolutely be real, and that could be a thing that could happen? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because, I mean, right now, we have phones, social media, you can scroll forever, and lose track of time. And that shit isn't even full dive. So then imagine you put on the fucking headset, you're done. See you next Tuesday. You're done.
Yep. You're out of here. But also imagine just like some of the cool things that you can do with it. Like if you're into baseball and you're not like in the best physical shape to actually play baseball, if you can throw on a full dive and, be Aaron Judge for the day. Imagine how that would be.
Bro, you ever see the movie WALL-E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
WALL-E.
Yeah, bro, we joke, but I swear that's where we're headed. Everyone just like laid out in chairs, just having all the machines taking care of everything. Oh, but I mean, a full dive would be cool. It would be cool in the sense that, for example, there are people who have, like you said, right? Let's say, for example, you were born without certain faculties.
Mm-hmm.
Then, that might be a way for you to kind of experience that, activities you may not have been able to prior. I think I liken it very much to what lucid dreaming, the concept of that, right? Because essentially that's what it would be. It would be like a dream that you step into the driver's seat and now you can control said dream, right? And so you put on the headgear, and it's just a dream, and you're just like, great, okay, I am conscious, and I can fly, and I can do all these different kinds of things. The question that I was just asked then is that, how do we know that we're not doing that already, right?
Because we would be conscious if we were doing that already.
Yeah, but you have to be aware. You have to raise that awareness within yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, if you don't know that you're in a dream, then you won't be able to do those things. But once you become lucid in it, then you can start doing all those different things. But that's the question. It's like, how do you know? Just, I don't know. That's it's not a conspiracy of mine, but it's just,
okay.
it's something that I just think about. It's that I feel like a lot of us, there are certain things that a lot of us would like to do. For example, like full dive, lucid dreaming, whatever these things are. But really, we could already be doing that stuff and just not know. Like you put on the full dive and you forgot. Been in the game too long.
But that kind of feels like how when people turn to religion, because if you're looking for a higher power, like a full dive, or if you're trying to lucid dream and control your life, then there's aspects of your life you can't control no matter how hard you try, and that's when you turn to religion, because you feel like the programmer, or the game master or God is in control, and then you're trying to find the glitches on how you can regain control for yourself.
Trying to find the cheat codes.
Yeah, trying to pop in the game genie.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna do life, but I'm gonna do it with a game genie.
Bro, you saying game genie? Only the OGs know game genie. And no one's gonna know game genie. Not no one, but right. I mean, you'd have to be 80s, 90s, early 2000s, because
I think the early 2000s started going into the pro action replay.
That's what it was. Yeah, it became pro action replay. Yeah. And that was the last we had ever heard of it.
Yeah, because then after that, then people started PC gaming.
Yep.
And doing their own mods,
Yep.
And you didn't need a Game Genie or a Pro Action Replay anymore.
That was it. You're done.
No Game Shark for you.
Nope. That's crazy. Because once you bought the Game Genie, that was it. There was no updating the Game Genie.
No, it just
that was it.
It just allowed you to go into like death mode, kind of.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you played Sonic, Sonic had a button command to go into death mode. So Sonic 2, you had to do certain actions on the game. Like I think when Tails blinks in the intro part of it, you have to wait for him to blink a second time, where he does 2 rapid blinks. You got to try to catch the game as soon as he closes his eye, and then you enter dev mode.
Yeah.
When you do that, then you can start putting coin boxes wherever you wanted. You can start putting the Chaos Emeralds wherever you wanted.
Yeah.
You could put the entire end of the stage, like right in front of the beginning of the stage, and just run a couple of feet and just spin that thing around, and then you're done with the whole stage.
Yeah, see, it was those little things that we don't have those anymore.
No.
I don't feel like as far as I know, we just don't do that anymore.
Well, we do. When you're doing PC gaming, you download mods.
That's one thing. Those are mods. But
Yeah.
I'm saying the old school button inputs to get.
Oh, no, you like the Contra?
Yeah.
None of that.
No codes.
No up, down anymore.
No codes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was just fascinating because, back in the day, when you got the game, that was it. There was no DLC. There was no updates. You had to hope and pray that game shipped fully complete, no bugs, finished.
Well, that was the beauty of it, though, because when you purchase the game, you're purchasing the entire game.
It's the whole game. You're done.
Not like Final Fantasy VII, for example. It's a 4-disc game, but when you buy it, you have all 4 discs, and you can play through the entire story.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if you buy the Final Fantasy remakes, you got to pay like $90 to get the first remake, and then there's going to be a couple of DLCs to patch it up, just so you could get one chapter further, and then you gotta wait and like 3 years, and then they'll release the second version of it, which will be like disc 2.
Yeah.
Then you got to pay another $90, and then wait for them to release the third version, and then another $90 for that, and then the fourth version, and then you just spent like $2,000 on this game, where back in the day they gave you the whole thing in one shot.
See, bro, I'm telling you, this is life. Like, this is life. Every year, okay, you gotta wait on your birthday. Okay, you know what? One more year. All right, you pay the money, keep yourself, alive. You get the next chapter.
Yeah.
All right, so then you get the next chapter of life, and they keep drip feeding you the game. It's like I feel like life is the ultimate game.
Yeah.
It's just DLC. It's just constant DLC.
Because even when DLC first came out, like I remember, you still got the full game, but then something happened. We're like, oh, let's add this to the game.
It was an addition to the right.
In addition to the full game.
It was an addition to the full
Now
game.
you don't get the full game. You just get like half of it. And then you got to purchase the rest of it in little bits.
Bro, I'm telling you. Yeah. Because I remember, what was it? Right. So, for example, a good example of DLC is Legend of Zelda, right? Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, all that kind of, like, you get the full game. Then they started releasing some DLC, whether it's I think it was like the Champions Path or whatever it was, like those different kinds of quests and stuff like that. That's a good example of DLC, right? It's like, okay, great. You know what? You already bought the base game. You played it through. Now you get some other things that you can play. Optional. That's the key word. It's optional.
Yeah.
You don't need it in order to complete the whole game. If you're telling me I'm going to play a game and you got me on part 1, and then that would be like if they released Metal Gear Solid present day, because the original Metal Gear Solid was on 2 discs.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like if they just released the first disc.
That's basically what they're doing.
And then
Final Fantasy 7, yeah.
And then they're just like, okay, you're going to have to wait for disc 2. And I'm just like, what? Because I remember exactly... Disc 2 for Metal Gear Solid 1 picks up, I want to say it's after the Sniper Wolf fight. Pretty sure it's after Sniper Wolf. Yeah. Somebody's going to have to fact check me, but I'm pretty sure after you defeat Sniper Wolf is when you have to put in Disc 2. And I was like, oh, okay, great, got it. And it was fun, I think, to, finally reach the end of a disc. Because then you were just like, oh, nice, okay.
Yeah. That was one of the Final Fantasy 7 was definitely fun in that aspect, too. Because once you reach the end of disc 1, and then you're about to hit the second disc, you're like, wow, this is so cool. And then also, you have like a visual representation on how much more you have to go before you actually finish the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that was cool.
One example of DLC being just egregious is the 2K series, wrestling. The 2K26 is ridiculous. They released 3 versions of the game, one at $70, one at $100, and then another one like $120 or $130. And if you just get the base $70 version, you're only getting half the roster. And then if you want the full roster, you got to get the $100 version. And then if you want the pack, the add-on pack with like some of the other wrestlers from TNA or whatever, like Mr. Iguana, then you need to buy the $130 version of it.
Nah.
And then on top of that, on top of you paying $130 for this game, you think that they're gonna give you the entire like character pack, the whole season pass, but no. You still got to buy the season pass separately. And then even if you buy the season pass separately, they're still releasing other character packs that you have to pay for separately. It is ridiculous, that game.
Nah, you can miss me with all of that. Miss me with all of that.
Yeah. Like, it's a good game and sounds like it's fun to play. But they've gotten ridiculous with the DLC on these 2K games. It's terrible. It's a definite cash grab, and TKO needs to get it together and stop being so damn greedy.
That's a nightmare. I mean, and I feel like I feel like Nintendo still does a pretty decent job of getting DLC quote unquote right. For example, the Smash Brothers, like the Fighters Pass and all that kind of stuff. I don't recall it being so bad to the point where I was about to flip a fucking table. I mean, yeah, you had to if you got the packs, then you were guaranteed to get certain characters and so on and so forth. And there's fucking over 90 characters in that game.
Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna hate on them. There's over 90 characters in that game, and that game it's just a masterpiece. Like that's just hands down. No one can talk shit about that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a masterclass in just like game design for like what it is. But I feel like out of all the companies, I feel like Nintendo's pretty good about not trying to like. People will say whatever they're gonna say about Nintendo, like peripherals and having you buy this and that and that and that. Yeah,
not having full HD.
But I mean, when it comes to the DLC grabs, some of these companies are out of control. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous, and it's getting worse year by year. Nintendo has some great games, though. I don't know if you've played Donkey Kong yet.
No, I haven't played that one.
Oh, so good. It is so. I played through that whole game and had a great time playing it. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to get my hands on a Switch too.
Let's make it so.
But yeah, no, I definitely want to check out signature games that I want to check out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong, Prime 4. I had wanted to go back and get go back. It's not really going back, but if I was going to get a PlayStation 5, I would want to check out the Metal Gear Solid Delta,
Okay.
like the remake for 3, just because that's one of my favorite games. But there are too many games.
Way too many.
I don't know how anyone can find enough time to go through just the number of games that, again, pretty good game. Like I'm not gonna talk shit. I mean, there are just a lot of really good games, a lot of shitty games, but there are just so many games. I don't know how you could find the time to play any of them in depth without exploding, especially at the scale, how large these games are.
I was gonna say, like the Monster Hunter games, those are amazing. Those games are so good.
But I mean, these games, you're dropping like 60, 70 hours in some of these games.
Yeah.
At least.
Mm-hmm. That's why I mentioned before that it's hard for me to play those type of games. Not because I don't love them. It's just the commitment of time that you need to play those games. Because, we're doing so many other things. I have a full-time job. I have a family. I'm trying to work on an acting career. I'm taking on like other IT clients. We're doing the podcast. Like, how do you find time in the game? Find time in the day to play.
Find time in the game.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Freudian slip.
There
It's a
we go.
game.
It is a game.
How do you find time in the game to play the game?
Yeah, it sounds like Triple H now. Time to play the game.
I got you.
But yeah, like it's just hard to find the time.
Yeah.
So that's why right now I'm only trying to pick up just stuff that I can play for like a few minutes and just put away.
Yeah.
Although one of my favorite game series was the Legacy of Kain series, both Blood Omen and Soul Reaver. And I just saw today that they released a new version of Legacy of Kain. I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't do the research. Just his other podcast that I enjoy watching, Jeremy Johns. He does movie reviews. And I saw that the episode that he released today was with the new Legacy of Kain game. I'm like, wait, what the hell is this? So once we're done here, I need to dive in and see what that's all about.
For some reason, I feel like it's not a brand new game. But it might be a
like
remake or a
collection?
remaster or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it might not be a brand new game.
If it's a brand new game, I'm gonna be hyped because that's such a great series.
You'll find the time to play it.
I'll find the time to play it. But yeah, I'll definitely pick that up. Or if they were to drop like a new Castlevania, I would definitely pick that up too.
Yeah, I mean, there are always games for which I will find the time. For example, there was a new Metal Gear. I mean, yes, Delta is new in the sense, but it's still Metal Gear Solid 3. And so I can at least say, okay, you know what? I don't need to jump on it like that just yet. But if it was a brand new Metal Gear, I could be talked into it. That being said, Kojima's working on Physint, which is supposed to be the spiritual successor to Metal Gear.
Okay. Because he parted ways with Konami, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that game comes out, I'm gonna feel obligated to pick up this game and play it. I'm just gonna. That's just the nature of my game playing when it comes to certain franchises. If a new Zelda comes out, I'm gonna.
That's the beauty of the Nintendo Switch, is that you have a full console with you on the go. Because for me to get to work, it takes an hour. It's an hour commute.
Yeah.
So that's an hour that I could be gaming, I could be resting, or I could be gaming. So that's a full hour of time that I can find to play whatever game. And then you just put it on hibernate mode.
Right.
And then just continue later on. Which is one of the things we couldn't do back in the day. You either had to commit to playing that game all the way through, or you're done.
I'm really kind of enjoying looking back on this gaming stuff, because I feel like we joke all the time, but you had to be kind of fucking hardcore and insane to play games back in the day, right? Because you had to really sit and do that thing all the way through.
Oh yeah.
There were very few games where you could just save and then just like call it. Like,
even then, you had to wait a good while before you can actually save.
right.
Like if you're playing Resident Evil, you have to find a typewriter. You can't just like, all right, I'm done. Let me turn this off now.
Nah, fam.
You had to search to make sure that you had a ribbon, an ink ribbon in your inventory. And then once you find that ink ribbon, then you have to go find a typewriter in one of those storage rooms, and then you can save your game. And even that took like at least another 30 minutes to an hour of time just to find that stuff.
And then you were just fucking stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because that game...
Like, I got to use the bathroom, but I can't just...
Nope. Nope. You had to hit pause and then just leave the console on and hope that nobody turned it off.
Oh, yeah. Hope that your mom doesn't go, why is this on? Click.
Hoping that nobody turned it off while you were gone.
Yeah.
That was hardcore mode.
One of the hardcore games from back in the day was Chrono Trigger. That game has so many different endings. So you gotta find the time to play the game all the way through.
Yep.
And then you beat the game and you're like, oh, there's other versions of this ending. I gotta do this event to trigger this ending. And then you commit to trying to get every single ending for this game.
Yeah. I didn't beast like that.
It was worth it.
I definitely did not.
It was worth it.
I definitely did not beast like that because I didn't have the game. I never bought the game for Super Nintendo.
Okay.
I ended up playing it a little bit later.
Mm.
Yeah, like virtually or something like that.
Okay, that was definitely one of my favorite games.
It's easily.
I liked it so much that when they re-released it on a PS1 with the animated cutscenes, even though it's the exact same game, I still bought it again.
Yeah, it's an incredible game. Again, another masterclass.
Yeah,
and just
Toriyama's artwork,
game design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't mess with that. Yeah, I still remember when they were doing that fan remake that never saw the light of day because they got hit with the C and D.
Yeah. Well, Chrono Cross was supposed to be a sequel to Trigger, but personally, I feel like it wasn't a sequel. Great game in its own right.
Yeah,
but it was not Chrono Trigger.
No, I mean it had its own dopeness. Some of the best music you'll ever hear in a game. Some of the best orchestra. Like it's just
Cross. Yeah.
I mean, Chrono Trigger too, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think Chrono Trigger had the benefit. Chrono Cross had the benefit of just later technology, and so you could produce like really well orchestrated, songs. You could compose like really well orchestrated songs
Mm-hmm.
on the PlayStation. What was it, PlayStation 2 or 3? College. I can't remember. It was 3.
Cross
Cross.
was on the 2.
It was on the 2.
Yeah.
2.
Or
Okay.
even on the 1, possibly.
It was on the 2.
Yeah.
It was on the 2. Yeah, it was on the 2.
Yeah.
So you had the hardware to
Mhm.
be able to produce some really, really, really good music. But yeah, I mean,
Suikoden was a dope game when the PS2 came out.
I didn't play that one. I know of it. I didn't play it.
Suikoden was another one of those where you got to go hardcore
Yeah.
because you can choose to keep the characters that you have, but if you do like the side quests, you start gathering more and more characters. Your goal in the Suikoden franchise was to gather all 107 characters. And then once you had like a certain amount of characters, you could send them off to war.
Mhm.
And then you would see like the little war play out where it's like your group of people against their group of people and they're just like going back and forth. It was so good.
Nah, that's cool. That was
Yeah.
that was Konami.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Konami.
Great game. Really great game. RPGs from those days was legit.
I mean, you just had to work back in the day. I remember this is hands down still one of my favorite stories, is that it's when we first got our hands on Simon's Quest, Castlevania.
Yeah.
So it was Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest on the original Nintendo. That was one of the most hardcore games/gaming sessions I ever had. Because I'm pretty sure I was like 6, 7 years. I have to do the math. But I'm pretty sure I was maybe single digits when that game came out. I must have been. And I remember we were having a party at my house in Brownsville. Because back in the day, Pops was throwing parties. Like, Pops was that dude back in the day who's just just throwing parties. You know, just that was. I sometimes wonder what he was like in his youth, because we had parties at our place pretty frequently, and like they ran late, and so all of us are up in the bedroom with the Nintendo, and I'm here playing Simon's Quest, and another game. You can't save in that game. I don't believe. I think what happens is that you get passwords.
Nintendo didn't have saves.
You could save. Like,
I don't remember being able to save on any Nintendo games.
Like the Legend of Zelda games, you could save. Yeah, like all the gold, cartridges. Yeah, you could save on those for sure. You could save in those.
Okay.
Either you could save, or sometimes you would get a password and you had to write down the password, and then you could put it in again, and it would take you back.
Well, that's what you would have to do with Punch Out. Punch Out had passwords.
Right, had passwords.
But I'm thinking like of maybe Ninja Turtles. I don't remember Ninja Turtles having a save state. You had to just run through it.
No, you had to run through that.
Yeah.
But like Simon's Quest, I don't think you had saves. I think maybe you got passwords, but I don't even think you got passwords for that. I have to go back and check. But I remember playing that game from like start to finish, and I had my older sister and my cousin nearby, and everyone was like, chiming in and saying like, "Oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that," and then they were fighting. As I knock into the microphone, they were fighting with each other as to who helped me like beat the game and that kind of thing, because Simon's Quest had 3 endings. I want to say that I probably got. I think I got the bad end, like the bad ending. Mm-hmm. I think I got the bad ending. And even then, we were still fighting. They were still fighting over like who helped me like beat the game, like in the end. And I think the reason I just remember it is because there was something just very special about like having to sit, play the game all the way through. No walking away, no interruptions, no like, no putting it down, and then you had to. It was an event. It was a special occasion where you had like everyone together watching you play the game, or watching people take turns playing the game, and then having to just like you got to one and done the game. You can't. There's no walking away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of magic, I think, that we kind of lose or have lost. I mean, we have different, we have different magic.
I was gonna
now.
say because even when we started having save states, I remember when the first Resident Evil came out. I didn't have a PlayStation at the time. My cousins Daniel and David, they had the PlayStations and they got Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And when that game first came out, it was like all three of us just sitting down in a dark room, just playing the game, like screaming with the jump scares, like just wilding out, just us three. And then once the parents come in, like, all right, turn it off. It's 3:00 in the morning. Go to sleep. When we find a save state, and then we would promise that we wouldn't continue the game until all three of us, until all three of us are together again, and we stuck to that. You stuck to that.
You stuck to that. Everyone had that promise.
Yeah,
you were like, yo, you're not gonna touch. We're not gonna touch this game until everyone comes back. Because you couldn't. There was no rewind. There was none of that stuff.
Yeah,
like you had to just be there, or you were not gonna get that experience.
Yeah, if you're not there, then you're gonna miss out.
You're gonna
we took
miss
turns.
out.
We would pass the controller
Pass
around.
the control.
Like you guys do these levels.
Yep.
It was so fun.
Somebody dies. All right, you gotta take over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was, man. That was magic. I feel like that's when you really found out like who was on your team.
Yeah, because if like once you put the game in, like, hey, when we left off, we were at the police station. What are you doing in the mansion?
Bro, oh man, that's the best part.
Yeah,
it's like you can't. No one played the game until we were all back together. That was the dope shit.
Yeah,
that one was fun. Yeah, that's. Oh man, you reminded me. I didn't even think about that until you said it.
Because it was, that's such a special moment too.
Yeah,
like you didn't play the thing, through in one night. Even though like your play time is around 4 or 5 hours,
right?
It doesn't feel that way.
Nah.
Because I remember Resident Evil, you had to try to beat the game in under 3 hours to get like the special weapon and the new game plus,
right?
The rocket launcher.
Yeah. So back in the day, you had to do the run through all the way through, right?
You had to do the run through all the way through. But once they started releasing save states, you can pause the game, you can stop the game, and then continue at a later point. And that's how some people became more of a casual gamer.
Yeah.
I'll play until I get to the next save point. Whereas if you're playing Mario 64. Not even Mario 64 before that. Super Mario Brothers, for the Super Nintendo. You had to run all the way through that one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because if you ever played on an emulator, you had access to save states. So that's
on computer.
But that's on computer.
Yeah, once computers came out, you already had consoles that had save states.
Yeah, by that point, you had console games where you could save. Like, you're playing GoldenEye. Okay, yeah, you can do things in chunks and all that kind of stuff. So,
but if you're playing Ninja Turtles on the NES, once you turn that game on, you are committed from beginning to end.
Yeah, see, that's hardcore. I'm gonna make my nephew do that. I'm gonna make my nephew go through all these old ass games
without a save state.
His head's gonna explode. Well, no, not true. Because I bought him the Sonic Mega Collection for the Switch 1, which is like pretty much every Sonic game.
Okay.
Every retro Sonic game. But even then, that thing has pausing, but maybe it has save states. I don't even know if it does. I haven't played it myself. Mm-hmm. But the way that these kids play these games is strange. I take that back. He beat Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I haven't played that yet.
Okay. I haven't played that one either.
He looked like he was having a good...
I've played most of the Mario games. I haven't really played the newer ones.
Yeah.
But I've played pretty much all of the older ones.
Yeah, little man was having a good ass time with that game. He beat it. And I was like, he told his mom, my little sister, that. And my little sister was like, did he beat the game? I was like, I don't know. So I went and I was like, hey, show me the end of the game. He beat the game. I was like, dope. And he's 7.
Okay.
The reason I bring this up is because I think when I was his age, I'm trying to think back on what kind of games I was beating when I was his age. I'm pretty sure I was playing. I was beating games to that degree.
We definitely were.
We were mopping games.
That
like
was the NES saga.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we had no choice but to play through.
Yeah.
I mean, some games had codes that you can put it to them where you can kind of continue.
Pick up from where you left off.
Yeah, like Punch Out.
Yeah,
you could put in the codes and finish. Like go straight to King Hippo if that's the last place you for it. Or if somebody gave you the code, you go straight to Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But most of the games on the NES,
you had to pop a Red Bull.
Oh yeah,
whatever we had back in the day. Some Now and Laters, some some Jolly Ranchers or whatever,
and just go through it. Some games did have a save state though, because from what I remember, Mario Brothers 3 had save states.
Yeah, you had profiles. I think you could pick up. You pick up from where you left off. I think some games did. I think they started getting around to it because they started making some of these games way too big. Like even back then, they were like, okay, we're making these games much bigger.
Yeah,
we can't expect people to run through these in one sitting.
Right, like Altered Beast, you have to run through that whole thing in one sitting.
Rise from your grave. Welcome to your doom. Yeah, man. Nah, it's so deep. We'd be here talking about games all night. Yeah, just call it.
All right, so then on that note, damas y caballeros, yo soy Angelo Mercado, and you are...
Quabina and Pofo.
And together we're Wall Street. Sorry, I had to bring that back.
Oh, man.
I gotta love Keanu.
Oh,
but just really appreciate you guys tuning in. I want to thank you guys for all the love and support that we've been getting from everyone around the globe.
Yeah, y'all are real dope. We're gonna keep doing this. So we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah. One love with a number 2.
All right, Rogue Actors, we out of here. Peace. Love y'all.
Peace.